Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
The state government is defending its Facebook advertising spend after it was revealed $22,000 was spent on boosting the Premier's posts. Labor says it should be paid for with party funds.
Taxpayers can make their own judgment on Jeremy Rockliff based on what he says and what he does. They don't need him using their money to pay for his ads.
Social media is an increasingly important tool when it comes to communicating with our community. I mean, a lot of people only get their news from social media.
Some of the posts backed by cash included drone flyovers of the Bridgewater Bridge and a parliamentary speech spruiking economic growth and attacking Labor. There are claims the government is dilly-dallying on declaring the Northwest a renewable energy zone. Clean Energy Tasmania Chair Ian Jones says the state risks losing potential investors with little action made on the initiative since it was announced a year ago.
The big wind farms that are scheduled for the northwest coast, a lot of them are owned by overseas companies and they need to get a return on their investment.
Energy Minister Nick Duigan says an update on the zone is expected shortly. 2 Tasmanian companies and 1 individual face federal court action accused of ripping off staff by more than $20,000. United petrol stations under the Fair Work Ombudsman's microscope.
Accused of underpaying migrant staff and falsifying payslips, the operator of 2 United petrol stations is now facing legal action.
We will allege that it was not a mistake and that the director concerned, Mr Gupta, was knowingly involved.
The FWO say 4 staff on visas at the Sandy Bay and Kingston United outlets were underpaid more than $20,000. Allegedly given flat rates between $16 and $23, with no overtime or weekend rates.
Most concerningly in one case, and this is part of our legal action against them, a cashback was sought, which is a terrible, pernicious thing.
It's also alleged staff and Fair Work inspectors were given false timesheets.
All of those things put together wrap up to a pretty significant, we think, set of alleged contraventions.
KLM Foods operates the Sandy Bay and Kingston outlets. Vizan employs 1 worker at the latter. Hobart man Loveleen Gupta is allegedly involved with operations of both stores as sole director of KLM Foods. The companies and Mr Gupta were contacted for comment. The Ombudsman says migrants often make easy targets for underpayment, so too younger workers. They're looking to stamp out mistreatment of vulnerable groups.
The really significant point here is that we're seeing over and over and over again migrant workers. We're seeing them taken advantage of.
The case will be heard in the federal court next month. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
The Jackie Lambie network could hold the balance of power after the next Tasmanian election, according to one pollster. National polling firm YouGov has made its first foray into Tasmanian politics, and their results suggest the JLN is headed for a 5th of the vote and 7 seats. 31% of respondents preferenced the Liberals and another 27% Labor. The Greens had 15%. A truck driver, an aged carer and a vet nurse have joined a full-time activist in the Wentworth Hills near Tasmania's Central Highlands. 4 people attached themselves to machinery calling for native forest logging operations to be halted. The group, part of the Bob Brown Foundation, says it remains concerned about threatened and endangered species which rely on trees for survival. 2 of the activists have since been arrested. The New York Times has unveiled its top 52 places to visit in 2024, with Tasmania making the prestigious list. One of only 2 Australian locations featured. Experts believe the listing is a major boost to our state's image.
It's ships like this that put wind in the sails of our local tourist industry. Passengers this morning enjoying the opportunity to visit our iconic sites.
Seeing the Tasmanian devils.
The oysters. So we're about to go and try and find some.
Tasmania might be small on the map, but our profile is growing. The state named one of 52 places the New York Times wants tourists to visit this year.
Oh, it's fantastic news for us in Tasmania. We certainly know what a beautiful place we live in, but getting international recognition is always really valid.
Brisbane, the only other Australian destination on the much anticipated list, sitting alongside hotspots Japan, Iceland and Chile. It's not the first time we've been recognised by the renowned newspaper, previously appearing on the same list in 2018.
Walking of the world's best food, wine and whiskey. We're so blessed with what we have here in Tasmania and the world's waking up to it.
While our summer season attracts tourists in droves, the cooler months are proving just as popular.
With the cold, with the snow, our whisky, our produce is always a strong driver of visitation. We've got some of the best small batch produce in the world.
It's cruise ships like this attracting major tourists to the region. Behind me is the Disney Wonder cruise ship, but it's not the first time it's in our waters, making its maiden voyage just last year. Local operators welcoming them with open arms.
Super busy in terms of cruise ships. We're down here every time there is a cruise ship.
Rebecca Gaydaneris, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania's budding tennis players have had the chance to have a swing with one of the sport's rising stars. Marie Boskova joining 30 children at the Australian Open's holiday program. Off court, participants scored hats and even autographs with the Czech competitor, the world number 35, encouraging the next generation to embrace the sport.
To have fun and enjoy time on the court, because that's what I did when I was small. And
we're just seeing lots of juniors come through the pathway, and an event like this, it will only just encourage more and more.
More than 60,000 children across the country are taking part in the initiative. More than 3,500 racegoers have made the trip to Sprayton for a traditionally warm Devonport Cup. The racing club buoyed by strong crowds and a return to profitability for the 107th running of the event.
It might be a Wednesday, but it's still a perfect day to head to the track.
Yeah, it's been a good day. The weather's come out, so here with some good mates.
Devonport Cup Day in all its glory. No dress code and no worries. But if you want the prime real estate, you'll need to get in early.
Sneak down, get front row seats and been here for a couple of hours.
Out in Sprayton, life's a picnic.
It's a lovely country style race, lovely green lawns, sunshine. It's always a good day.
Fashion, of course, is the mainstay of any race day.
My hat is from a friend in New South Wales. She makes a lot of hats for the Spring Carnival, and my dress is just something I picked up from an op shop.
But it's the races they're all here to see. The first delayed by almost half an hour as the Clarks dealt with an escapee. The crowd eventually getting a taste of the action.
Ready and away finally for the first of the day.
Almost as quick as the horses galloping down the track, punters were lining up to collect their winnings.
Yes, first two races come in first.
What's the secret?
I don't know, I only do it once a year.
Devonport Cup Day?
Yes.
Punters aren't the only ones cashing in after failing to turn a profit in 2022. Strong crowds of more than 3,500 helping push this year's Cup Day back into the black.
That's a great crowd for this region. We lost a lot of people in the pandemic.
And it seems they'll all be back to do it again next year. Nick Kelly, 7 Tasmania News.
A major new circus will call Hobart's regatta grounds home for the next month. 7 Tasmania Nightly News has taken a sneak peek behind the curtains of the Great Moscow Circus, meeting the performers responsible for some of the most death-defying and impressive tricks on show.
Roll up, hundreds scoring a ticket to the newest show in town. The Great Moscow Circus has set up camp in Hobart, offering a series of death-defying acts not seen here before to big crowds.
Well, we're fitting just under 700 in each show, and at the moment the bookings are looking very good. The first 5 shows are all sold out.
Glittery singers and dancers among those taking to the stage. Performing throughout the show, plenty of preparation and practice goes into each performance.
I moved about 2 days before show day, and then we rehearse practically every day until the shows.
Some of the best BMX and scooter riders in the country showcasing their bag of tricks.
In our act we have a lot of errors every time, and every show's always different, but it's just, even if you do crash, you just gotta make the show keep going and give them a show.
While others took to the skies. The show-stopping acts prompting positive crowd reviews all round, with rides and snacks also in high demand.
We actually came to it last time, the 4 of us, and the girls really enjoyed it.
What are you most excited for in the circus show today?
Acrobats,
For anyone looking to run away and join the circus, even for a night, the troupe is next headed to Launceston, Burnie, before finishing up their Tassie tour in Devonport. And it's not always what you might expect. Some of the crowd got involved a little more than they might have bargained for today, with a fake wedding led by a clown. If you're attending, be prepared for anything to happen. Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmanian News.
Hobart International favourite Elisa Mertens is a step closer to raising the championship trophy for a record-breaking third time. Her straight set win headlining a big day 3 with spots in the quarter-finals on the line.
A familiar face putting on a familiar performance in Hobart.
It's been a masterclass from Mertens.
The two-time Hobart International champion serving Anna Schmiedlova a mighty Mertens show, dominating the match from the start. She won 85% of her first service points.
Yeah, the pressure too much for Schmiedlova to handle early on here, and Mertens consolidates that early break.
The Belgian star doing what she does best at the Domain.
The top seed is rocking and rolling in Hobart this week. She is in fine form.
It took her just an hour and 15 minutes to book a spot in the quarterfinals, going through in straight sets 6-2, 6-3.
It's a sad way to finish for Schmiedlova. The 2019 runner-up is out.
Mertens now a step closer to her record third championship. She'll face the Netherlands' Aranska Roos in the quarterfinal tomorrow.
I mean, I'm trying to, recover as good as possible. But yeah, I know we're a little bit.
Meanwhile, third seed Zhu Lin has progressed to the quarters, but it wasn't without a scare, fighting back from a set down to beat American Caroline Dolhide.
It's Zhu Lin's time in Hobart.
Australia's very own Daria Saville is back in action tonight. The wild card hoping to build on Monday's win, taking on Sophia Kenin. And fresh off a hit with the kids, Marie Boskova will also be looking for a spot in the quarters tonight. Victoria Risto, 7 Tasmanian News.
The Hobart Hurricanes captain says tomorrow night's rematch against the Strikers is a mini-final after last night's loss in Adelaide. Despite a masterclass from Ben McDermott, the rest of the Canes' top order once again failed to fire. A power play blitz from the Strikers helping the home side to a comfortable win.
No time to think about the past. The Hurricanes flew home this morning, knowing their season is hanging by a thread.
Pretty simple equation now, so we've got to play our best cricket with our backs up against the wall again, so 2 from 2, and hopefully we can get a finals berth.
The captain once again defending his under-pressure top order.
We know it's there, and we know we can do it, so hopefully we can sneak in, and then if we play our best cricket come finals, I think anything can happen.
Batting first at Adelaide Oval, the Canes had a familiar start.
Has he picked the man out? Yes, he has. This night is not going in the right direction for the Hurricanes.
Slumping to 6 for 66, a bleak night was on the cards. Ben McDermott, though, had other ideas.
Mid-off up. It's intelligent batting and it's a beautiful strike.
Belting 95 off just 61 balls. The opener smashed 7 fours and 5 sixes. The strikers set 166 to win.
Finishing in style.
With 200 chased down twice at the Oval this season, everything had to go right for Hobart. The strikers seemed keen for an early night.
Short, jumps all over that. He loves this matchup.
20 off the first over, 57 scored in the power play. They blew the game open. Matt Short blasting a quick-fire 45.
Shot. Beautiful shot.
Despite some late wickets, the damage was done. The target reached with 4 balls to spare. The two teams clash again tomorrow at Blunston in a mini-final.
We've got nothing to lose, and that can be dangerous at times. I think the Strikers have nothing to lose either.
John Hunt, 7 Tasmanian News.
Despite last night's loss, Nathan Ellis has received some good news today, with the bowler set to return to international duty. Ellis has been selected in Australia's one-day squad that will face the West Indies next month, the bowler relishing the opportunity to play on home soil.
So that's something that's been really exciting for me. All my opportunity has been overseas. It's a really exciting prospect for my family and friends to be able to see me play in Australia, which is something that will be really special.
The 3-match series begins at the MCG on February 2nd. In just his third race in Tasmania, Ashy Boy has taken out the Devonport Cup. A quick turn of foot just before the home straight, exactly what was needed to seal victory for the young gelding.
Froggy rode him a treat, pressed the button early. Great ride. That's why he's won so many of them.
It's Devonport trainer Glenn Stevenson's first Cup win. And Gary Fay, trained Raiders guide, has taken out this year's Ladbrokes Chase, the Hobart Greyhound track last night. Rojo Diamond taking out second place, with Winemaker taking out third spot. Raiders guide was a $4 favourite along with Fast Minardi, which finished seventh. And that's all in sport today. Kim, I'm sorry to say I didn't have very much luck at the track today.
Oh well, there's always the Launceston Cup coming up, I guess. Thanks, Nick. Beautiful day there in Sprayton.
Good evening. A glorious 29 degrees in Hobart today as the Hobart International entered its third day. Launceston 24, 23 recorded for the Devonport Cup, Burnie 25. Friendly Beaches 28, Bushy Park 27, Maria Island, St Helens and Grove all 26. Flinders Island and Smithton 23, Lowhead 22, King Island and Laiwini 21, 20 degrees today for Strawn. Overcast skies are seen about the west with partly cloudy or mostly sunny skies elsewhere. Low cloudy seen over western Tasmania, extending to the Victorian coastline today, with thunderstorms evident across the top end. Tomorrow, the front will pass the state in the morning as a ridge of high pressure hovers over Tasmania. Northwest to southwesterly winds 15 to 25 knots, reaching up to 30 knots in the south. A strong wind warning has been issued for coastal waters tomorrow between Tasman Island to Low Rocky Point. Tomorrow, partly cloudy in the south, Hobart and Cygnet 25, New Norfolk 26. Sunny and fine in the north, Launceston 29, 25 for Devonport, 28 is the maximum for Campbelltown. Burnie 24 and sunny, a shower or two for Strawn 22, fine in Smithton 25 degrees. St Helens partial cloud 24, Swansea sunny 26, similar conditions for Fingal 26 is the top. Friday, showers about the southwest, fine elsewhere. Saturday, isolated showers. Sunday, isolated showers about the north, mainly fine elsewhere. Let's take a look now to mainland conditions for Thursday. Adelaide, fine 31, becoming cloudy in Canberra 29, 29 also for Sydney, although likely showers. Currently in Hobart, partly cloudy 24, sunny in Launceston and Devonport. Kim, it's certainly been a busy day in sport across the state.
It is a great time of year if you're a sport lover. Thank you, Kyan. That is all we have time for tonight. Thanks for joining us for your midweek Tasmanian news. For now, it's good night.